Hi there everyone, thank you for being on the channel. Today I'm here to present the pre-scene analysis to you for the operational case study exam in May 2022 and August 2022. So we have created this very specific pre-scene analysis for students who are going to take the upcoming operational case study exam. And as you may know, the pre-scene company released by CIMA for this time around is called Meals at Home. So we are going to make a very detailed pre-scene analysis, a word by word understanding of the pre-scene, trying to have full knowledge of the pre-scene, trying to relate every part of the pre-scene to our E1, P1 and F1 syllabus. That's what we are going to try at every stage. So if you don't already know, my name is Devansh and I'm the lead tutor at Finntutors, and I will be leading all the lessons for the operational case study exam. We are CIMA registered tuition providers accredited by CIMA and working with CIMA on very many different platforms, very many different pathways to increase student pass rates. This pre-scene analysis, or the entire pre-scene analysis rather, that we create is 2.5 hours long and has a 60-page PDF file that comes with it. Today I'm going to do the first part of the pre-scene with you that will showcase to you how comprehensive, well planned and well laid out our material is. It aims to give students the best chance to understand the company while relating it to E1, P1 and F1 important syllabus areas, telling you that these are questions that can come up, these are topics that you must have studied. Before we move on, let me introduce something very new and innovative that we have created, which is our free mini course. So this mini course is absolute free for all operational level students. The link of this mini course is already present in the description box below. It will be on the very top. Just click on it and it will take you to our website where you can access the mini course for free. Why would you want to access the mini course? Because it's a very comprehensive course which is for free and gives you a full understanding of what the case study exam is actually about. It gives you the introduction to the case study exam, the key skills and the structure of the exam, the industry analysis, the blueprint or the I can statement explanations, answer writing tips and tricks. It gives you one mini mock exam that will be marked, checked and corrected personally. Then this mock exam will be held on our exam portal, which is timed and again exactly like the exam. And there is lots more valuable material there. So this is a free mini course. There is nothing to lose. I urge you to try it and I'm sure you're going to find it helpful. Like I mentioned, the link is in the description box below. Do not wait. Click on the description box and hit the link. It will take you to the website and you can start accessing the free mini course. Coming back, this video is all about the part 1 of the pre-scene analysis. Without wasting any time, let us begin. The first thing that we do is we address your role as part of this fictional company that CIMA have created. So your role is that of a finance officer in the operational case study exam. So let's start word by word. We'll take the exact pre-scene that CIMA has released, pick it up, and then we have broken it down according to our own understanding, our own experience. So our pre-scene document has the same material that CIMA has released with a lot of annotations and connotations by us, a lot of inputs and specific descriptions by us, taking you to every part of this case study and relating it to your E1, P1 and F1 syllabus at every stage. So you are a finance officer who is working within the finance department of Meals at Home. So the company that they've given us this time around is called Meals at Home. But firstly, let's address the word finance officer over here. Now, finance officer is generally a person who deals with short-term focused decisions, preparing costing, preparing budgets, helping to analyze, helping to look at variances, working capital, cash management, risk management in the short term. These are the roles that generally define the job of a finance officer, and this is further mentioned by CIMA to be the roles of a finance officer, which means if you look at these remits, these are nothing but parts of your E1, P1, and F1 syllabus. Your short-term decision making, part of P1, costing budgets, part of P1, variance analysis, part of P1, working capital, part of F1, risk management, part of E1. So as you can see, throughout this pre-scene, there are going to be very many links to your E1, P1 and F1 syllabus that we'll point out to you. So for a case study exam, it will be very important to immerse yourself into the details of this company, as only then you will be able to present answers that are specific to your company. If you don't know your company well, if you don't know your role well, if you don't know what your company does, what you are supposed to do, how are you going to present an answer? So you are principally involved in the preparation of management accounting, providing information, and to assist with decision making. So your questions can revolve around these areas. And these areas are straight from your P1 syllabus. So if you've done your revision using our notes, using our material, using our specific learnings, then you're in the right head frame. Moving on, at times you are also expected to assist with financial statements, which is part of your F1 syllabus. So for the operational level, your revision is very, very important. Your technical skills are very, very important. Most certainly the most important pillar is P1. So we cannot leave anything for from the perspective of P1 revision. So as you can see, we are taking each word, each line step by step, understanding it, and then trying to relate it to our E1, P1 and F1 syllabus wherever we can. So slowly but surely we'll understand our company. On page 1, we understood that we have been given the role of a finance officer who has to do a variety of jobs that will require you to have your E1, P1 and F1 knowledge ready for this case study exam. Next, we go to the introduction section. So Meals at Home is a company that sells meal kits direct to customers through a digital subscription service. So your company sells meal kits, that's what your business is, and you sell it directly to the customers through a digital subscription service. So it's like a subscription service. Direct selling to the customer indicates a B2C business nature, business to customer, business to consumer directly. There is no middleman, there is no third party, there are no retailers, there are no wholesalers, none of this is there in the middle. It's direct to customers. Now this has its own very benefits. As you can imagine, there are no middlemen, so easy facilitation, easy order placing, you can control your costs. So this model that we are following does have its advantages. But I want you to take a minute and think about the drawbacks of this model and the opportunities you can have if you compare it to a business to business model, which means maybe you sell to a retailer, maybe you sell to a wholesaler, maybe you sell to a supermarket, and your meal kits are bought from there. That's a different kind of a business model, but is very popular, right? So compare over here. Take a minute and compare, but know your position very clearly. So as you can see, we read what the pre-scene is, we read what the pre-scene says, but then we'll always give you food for thought. We'll always give you pointers to think about, pointers to see what our business is like, what our business can be as part of these text boxes or as part of these extra suggesting boxes that we have put over here. So for us to know that right now B2C is my model, digital subscription service, 1 minute to be spent simply thinking what a B2B model could look like for us. But I want to further explore a subscription service, meaning, because a service is pretty common in today's world, I know that. But for a meal kit business, let's see how it may work. So subscription business model is a business model in which a customer pays a recurring price at regular intervals for access to a product or service. Rather than selling products individually, a subscription offers periodic, which can be daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, yearly, access to a product or service. Thus, a one-time sale of a product can become a recurring sale and can build your brand loyalty if you have a subscription service, right? Because you sell it to a customer once, if he likes it, the subscription is automatically going to renew. So advantages are your revenue becomes predictable, you can have better relations with your customers, and lower retention spends because your customer knows your products, he's happy, so he's automatically paying for it, you don't have to do anything consciously. There are certainly disadvantages as well. Disadvantages will be that now for subscription based services there are lots of competitions. Earlier it was something which was new, innovative, but now there are lots of competitions. Sometimes customers will cancel their subscription. Sometimes, the revenue is unpredictable because of this free cancellation or quick cancellation that you have available. So each business model has good sides and bad sides. What we try to do is when we see something important in the pre-scene, like over here we saw digital subscription service. So we gathered some data on it for you, which will be very valuable for you to further understand what a digital subscription service is, its advantages and disadvantages are, so that you can understand the business of our company, Meals at Home, better. And that's what this whole pre-scene analysis is about. Understanding our business in a better way, understanding the functions of our business in a better way. So at every stage, we will make sure that we run you through important topics that come up. Now, one another important aspect to note here is that because it is a digital subscription service, it brings in your E1 digital topics. A lot of digital focus has gone into your E1 syllabus, E1 studies now. This is also part of your blueprint. So how? Digital subscription businesses have great access to customer data, because obviously if your customers are buying their meal kits online, they're giving you a whole lot of their information, where they are buying from, how many meal kits they're buying, what price they are preferring. So you have a whole bunch of customer data which you can use for data analysis, data mining, and convert these into big data opportunities. I'm going to give you a very, very good and detailed big data and data analysis opportunity as we move deeper into the pre-scene. But because it's mentioned over here, let's acknowledge it, and this is part of your E1 syllabus. Coming back, a meal kit includes the ingredients for a single meal for a set number of portions of that meal, and a recipe card which gives instructions on how to prepare and cook the meal at home. So ingredients are already prepared for one portion or for two portions, whatever you order, and there is a recipe card telling you how you can cook it. Simple. The company is based in Newland, a country in Europe, which has the N dollars as its currency. So remember, this is a fictional company that they have given you. This fictional company, Meals at Home, is based in a fictional country called Newland. And this is a country in Europe which has N dollars as its currency. So what are they trying to tell me over here? So this country that we are situated in is part of Europe. And Europe as a whole is considered a developed economy. So Meals at Home is located in a developed economy, and so is going to have access to all the benefits of a developed economy, which can be better infrastructure, skilled workforce, people having the spending power, government support. So here we also need to take into consideration the higher regulation and high factors of productions. So it's a developed nation, it has advantages. It's a developed nation, it has some cons as well, which could be regulations, which could be high prices for everything, high food security standards. Let's keep that in mind. Why? Because from this we derive that because we are a highly developed economy, because the country and the market that we operate in is highly developed, means that people will have the interest and the money to spend on services like meal kits. Also, the culture will be such that people will be used to these kinds of products. Now, if you've gone through my industry analysis, you would know that in the West, generally in the West, North America, Europe, the meal kits culture has been going on for 10-15 years now. And because you are part of this economy means this kind of product has already been part of the culture. Along with that, you're in a developed economy, so people will have the interest and the money to spend on such services. This becomes a competitive advantage for you. This becomes an important thing to remember for us, because I am situated in a country that has good demand for my product. Looks like a positive sign for me. So let's keep this in mind. Next, they tell me that Meals at Home was founded in 2012 by friends Ben Jonas and Ravi Smith. Now, company was founded in 2012, so roughly we have been in the business for 9 to 10 years, roughly. So these two friends came together and founded this company in 2012. 9 to 10 years the company has been in business. Now, think logically. Do you know any company in the whole wide world that has existed for 10 years and is not doing well? Generally, that wouldn't be the case. When you've survived for 10 years, means that you have garnered a set of loyal customers. You have garnered a set of people who like your products. You have a small brand image that will be growing. You will have some kind of goodwill, and that is why customers are coming back and buying your products. This has to be seen as your competitive advantage, right? So something for me to keep in mind. I have existed for this long because people have liked my products. In 2010, both were young professionals working in the capital city of Newland. Ben was working in marketing and Ravi was working in IT. So we know that Ben has a marketing background, Ravi has an IT background, and we are going to discuss more about their skill sets when we go to the director's discussion at a later stage. Working long hours, both Ben and Ravi found themselves eating takeaways and convenience foods. So what they experienced was, during their working hours or during their working time, they didn't have the facility to cook their own foods or have the time to cook their own food. So they realized that there is this kind of gap in the market. I am facing this problem, so my fellow colleagues and others who live a lifestyle like me could also be facing the same problem, right? This is called the concept of experiential thinking. They experienced a problem, then they saw this as an opportunity, developed it, and Meals at Home was formed. So this is the concept of experiential thinking. Despite having a keen interest in cooking and eating healthily, they struggle to find the time to plan menus and get to supermarkets. In 2011, they tried a meal kit service. They liked the convenience but were not happy with the variety of the meals that were being offered, the quality of the ingredients that were being used. And that is why they did their own research and came up with their own meal kit company. So as you can see, the experience they faced was not good. They did their research and came up with their own company. We fall into the category of a startup business. Startups are founded by one or more entrepreneurs who want to develop a product or service which they believe is in demand and they believe can change the nature of the market altogether. So we are a business from its very inception dealing with innovation. In 2012, Ben and Ravi engaged the services of Henry Lopez, an experienced chef and recipe developer. Together, they developed 20 recipes and set up the company's subscription service. So, to start with, there were 20 recipes. Brand management and developing the brand will be key for our business because once quality or once certain kind of service is associated to your brand and you maintain it, it tends to improve and grow faster. So any business, especially a new one, will have to have its focus on managing the brand. The first meal kits were sold in January 2013 and were available to customers within a 60-kilometer radius. So first, a small portion was targeted, 60-kilometer radius only. In the first year of trading, Meals at Home made a revenue of 4.5 million, roughly 4,530,000 to be specific. And I would say for a company that's started recently, a company that's entered the market, a company that's developed on the thoughts of experiential problems and delivering only in a 60-kilometer radius, this seems like a good start. Since then, the company's revenue has grown significantly, and from 2016, the company has sold meal kits throughout Newland. So business has been growing rapidly. For a business growing rapidly, we must ensure that the structure and the culture is well set to make sure there are no apprehensions about the business's goal. Business is moving, right? Business is growing. So you're employing new people, new recipes, new inputs, new ideas. All of this needs to be managed. A good organizational structure and flow of information would be very important in today's modern changing and ever-changing market scenario. Let's put it that way. And organizational structure discussions, flow of information, your HR related problems, part of your E1 syllabus. And for a business that is growing, these are realistic topics that can be asked in the exam. So at every stage, point out E1, P1 and F1 relevance. That's my idea here. Now for the year to 31st December 2021, revenue was 62.5 million. But there was an operating loss of 3.7 million. The budget for the year to 31st December 2022 forecasts a revenue of 75.8 million and an operating profit of 2.1 million, the company's very first operating profit. So what we see from this is that the company is growing at a rapid pace. Agreed. No questions about that. But good control over costs and decision making will be key. Everything related to costing and decision making is part of your P1 syllabus. Let's hold on a second and look at the numbers that they've given us. Firstly, they told me that revenue for 2021 was 62.5 million. For 2022, it's expected to be 75.8 million. So if you make a rough, straightaway, simple calculation, you'll see a growth of close to 20% is expected in this year, which is good, which is a good sign for any business. But along with that, they're telling me that up until 2021, the company has significantly made a loss only. In 2022, it's the first time the company will make a profit. So this tells me that in 2021, your revenue was 62.5 million as they've mentioned. So all your costs, a simplistic analysis would be that all your costs came up to 66 million and hence you made a loss of 3.7 million as they've mentioned. So for any new business and any new startup, generally this is the trend as they are rapidly marketing, as they rapidly want to penetrate markets. So they are unable to control costs in the short term as they are trying to capture as many customers as they possibly can. In 2022, we are forecasting a profit, which will be a good and a first for our business. So these numbers, this analysis of the numbers is also important for us to make, and we'll give you a very detailed financial analysis when we get to that deeper into the pre-scene. But as of now, these numbers are also important for me to understand the financial stability of my company. The survival and growth of the company has been made possible by investment and support from venture capitalists and business angels, and the slow path to profit is consistent with other meal kit companies. So they're telling us that our business survived these losses because there was support from venture capitalists and business angels. So this tells us that the nature of the industry and hence management of capital will become very important for this industry. Investors with deep pockets and willing to sacrifice short-term returns will be important for the success of our business, which can finally be seen in the 2022 year-end forecast. So for 9 to 10 years, the investors have been willing to pump in the money and not expect a return. Now they'll finally see a return. Important to understand over here is, for this industry, the nature is such that from the very beginning, companies have to invest. That is what is mentioned here. So your capital management, working capital management, short-term finance becomes a very important question from your F1 syllabus. So don't discount that. Now we'll give you some food for thought, more supplementary reading as we call it. They mentioned that investors such as venture capitalists and business angels have invested in your business. What does a venture capitalist's investment mean? What does an angel investment, what does an angel investor mean? For this, we have presented a supplementary reading aspect for you, a supplementary reading paragraph for you, let's put it that way. In this supplementary reading, what we do is, wherever we find the need for extra explanation to benefit the student's understanding, we'll put it. This supplementary reading is something extra that we have put. It's not part of the pre-scene. Something extra that we create throughout our pre-scene analysis to facilitate your understanding. So a business angel is a private individual who often has high net worth and usually with business experience, who directly invests part of their assets in new and growing private businesses, like happened with Meals at Home. Somebody with money saw this as an investment opportunity, invested his money. Often they invest in developing firms that need access to funds to fuel their growth. Very consistent with the Meals at Home picture. We needed funds. We went to a business angel. A business angel saw potential and invested the money. The structure of the deal is also different. In return for his large investment, a business angel or a venture capitalist will expect a stake in the business. So they'll want an ownership in the business, which is often the case. So there are some benefits of business angels and venture capitalist financing. Obviously, they have large amounts of money. They are able to supply you with as much money as you want because they have access to it. Secondly, they have active involvement. They will want to be involved in the business because they are now owners, right? So they are involved. Their expertise comes with their investment. Thirdly, they have lots of incentives to make your business succeed because, again, he's an owner. He wants the business to succeed. On the other hand, there are always disadvantages as well. It's not always green and nice. There are obviously other aspects which we need to consider. The very common one being the loss of control. If it's your business, you want a venture capitalist to come up to your business. You want a angel investor to invest in your business. Obviously, you'll have to let go of some part of ownership, which can often be a large part. And if it's above 50%, that person will then become the deciding factor in your company. He has majority stakeholder in your company then. Thirdly, everybody can value businesses differently. So the direction that the business should take, how should it grow, how should it expand, the point of views can be different, so there can be conflict as well which arises. So what we are doing over here is simply telling you that because Meals at Home has venture capitalists and business angel funding, it has its cons and it has its pros, which we must keep in our mind as we are trying to understand our company in detail, and that is why this supplementary reading part has been given to you. One important thing for us to keep in mind is that these venture capitalists and these business angels want to earn a profit, right? So how will they realize their profit? They'll have to sell some part of their ownership at some stage, right? So the first option, how venture capitalists and business angels exit from an investment, is repurchase, which means the business or the management of the business generates money and buys back their share, which is not very common because the value of the company will then be very high by the time it's making a profit. So it might not be possible, but it's one option. The second option is this angel investor or venture capitalist sells their stake to another angel investor or a venture capitalist. And third, they may push for the company to get listed on the stock exchange so that they can sell their shares and earn a huge profit. It's important to remember that these business angels and venture capitalists have put their money in your business, yes, to definitely help you. Yes, because they saw potential, but they need to earn out of it as well. And these are three very common ways they will realize their investment. So it could be a problem for the business when these venture capitalists sell their stake, when these business angels want to sell their stake, because you don't know who's going to come in, what their mindset will be, what they want to do. Could be difficult. So this is another aspect to keep in mind. And because this was supplementary extra reading that we gave you, it was important for me to mention this. Now we come back to the pre-scene. Up until now we were doing a supplementary reading section, extra reading section. Now we are coming back to the pre-scene. The aim of the company is to provide good quality ingredients and clear recipe instructions so that the customer can prepare and cook healthy and nutritious meals from scratch at home. This is your competitive advantage because you are giving good ingredients which are also healthy. The company aims that each meal kit should take a maximum of 45 minutes to prepare and cook. So in 45 minutes you will have a healthy ready meal to eat. Each recipe is calorie counted, and the focus of many recipes is on low carbohydrate but high nutritional value. So the health factor is at the center of your business. So remember, your business is one that uses good ingredients but focuses on the high nutritional value, health aspect. The company's head office is located 40 kilometers outside of Newland's capital city, on the outskirts of the main city. This is the location of the company's development kitchen, where new meal recipes are developed and tested. Within 5 kilometers of the head office is the production facility, where boxes of these meal kits are assembled. So you have two major assets that we are speaking about over here: the head office of the company, and 5 kilometers from the head office you have a production facility where boxes of meal kits are assembled. So since we own an office and a production facility, your F1 syllabus revolving around IAS 16, property, plant and equipment, revaluation, disposal of assets, impairment of assets. This can be very realistic exam scenarios that can come up. So again, each part of E1, P1 and F1, when it comes up, we'll point it out for you. Next, Ben and Ravi consider sustainability to be at the heart of the business. So up until now, one major factor was good ingredients. The second thing was nutritional value. The third thing is sustainability, which means not harming the environment. Meal kits give customers only enough ingredients to prepare that meal, so there is no amount of food wastage. All ingredients are ethically sourced within food kilometers, a key consideration when selecting suppliers. So when you select suppliers, you want your carbon emissions to be limited, and that is why you will choose ethically sourced suppliers who are nearby. So there are two key sustainability challenges: the amount of packaging that you use and the distribution of meal kits to customers. So remember, your competitive advantage, the nature of your business is one to be sustainable, is one to be thinking about the environment, always being innovative to reduce your carbon footprint. This is a very important core concept of your business. So remember this about your business's characteristics, because suggesting something that is completely opposite to the characteristics, to the culture of your business, is not how any company works. For example, right now you want to minimize food waste. Tomorrow when you are launching a new product, in your answer you can't write, let's give them some extra ingredients no matter if food is wasted. You can't write that because your culture does not support it, and you always want to stay true to the core values, to the core cultures of your company. So this is very important to understand here. Next section is the extracts from the Meals at Home website. So they've given us some extracts from the fictional website of Meals at Home. So what does the website mention? How does it look like? They've just given some extracts here. We'll deal with those. So firstly, the section is why choose Meals at Home. The first thing is because you are a flexible subscription service, your competitive advantage. So with our subscription service, you can sign up to receive our meal kits once a week, once in 14 days, or once in a month. It's up to you. You can choose to receive meal kits in a small size or in a large size. For each order you place, you will have the option to include 2 meal kits or 3 meal kits or 4 meal kits. So there are some standard options that we have which the customer must choose from. Your meal kits are delivered to you in a single box, in one box, because we want to limit packaging. That's my thought process, right? You have the freedom to cancel, pause, or amend your subscription at any time without any additional charge. So these are some details about your company that you're gathering and garnering here. Next is recipe selection. Now, recipe selection is that you have 50 meal kits to choose from each week, including 20 vegetarian meal kits. You will be spoilt for choice. There are lots of options. Whether you like spicy food or fish or certain vegetables, our weekly selection has everything for you. So our development kitchen works hard to ensure that our recipes are easy to follow, quick to prepare, and highly nutritious. All our recipes are calorie counted. Remember, they're again mentioning the culture of your business here, good quality and health conscious. But over here we also know that we have 50 plus meal kits. Lots of options can be the customer can choose from. Next, ingredients. We have great relationships with all of our suppliers, meaning that we will only send you the freshest and the best quality ingredients. All meat and most of our dairy is sourced from Newland producers. Most of our vegetables are also grown in Newland. We try to source our other ingredients from Newland to limit the kilometers traveled before they reach you. So trying to keep it as fresh as possible, trying to keep it as local as possible so that you stay true. And this gives me some important points or some important understandings about my company. So this extract tells me that all of our ingredients are locally sourced. Sustainability is at the center of decision making. Our development kitchen works on creating new recipes. And there is a flexible subscription service that can be cancelled at any time. These points mention our competitive advantage And the areas that make our brand unique, you always have to stay true to the same. You cannot deviate from your core cultures. Remember that. So that is why these important points have been given to you as a text box, so you can remember it in a little bit of an easier way. So on the website extract part itself, they have a table which says how to use our subscription service. So Meals at Home is telling you how their subscription service can be used. So step 1 is to set up your Meals at Home account. And you can set up your account by providing your name, address and payment details. After that, you select your automatic preferences, which means you must select the size of your meal kit, the frequency of your delivery and your preference. So the size, you have the option of small or large, and under that you can order 2 meal boxes, 3 meal boxes or 4 meal boxes. For frequency, choose how frequently you want it. For meal kit preferences, choose what kind of preference you have. So clearly choosing what your preferences are and clearly choosing the amount of meal kits that you want to purchase. Now what I learned from this over here is that we are asking all of our customers to create an account. They are giving us all of their personal information, payment information. Because of all our online accounts and all these customer details, we will have huge volumes of customer data. So again, like I mentioned at the very beginning, your topics of big data analysis, data mining, machine learning, AI become very, very important. And this is straight out of E1. And due to this digital nature, the job of the finance function will also change. Digital costing, digital asset management, digital pricing, all of these will be important aspects which are part of your P1 syllabus now. So everywhere we see something important, we are trying to bring it to your studies. Step number 2 now is to choose at least 3 days before delivery is due. So before 3 days of the delivery, select your meal kits and the delivery date, or amend the size or cancel the delivery for that week. This should happen 3 days before the delivery is due. If the customer forgets it, then or does not cancel their delivery, automatically according to the preference and according to the size earlier ordered, meal kits will be delivered. So you will be charged for it. That's what they're mentioning here. And then step number 3 is what to expect when you receive your order. So when you receive your order, everything will come in a single box. Open that box. You will find an inner chill box in which you will find an eco chill bag on top of the meat, fish and dairy ingredients, which is required for all your meal kits. A meal kit bag for each meal kit, which contains the tins, packets, herbs, spices, mixes required for that meal kit. All of this will be in there, and carefully packed on top of the meal kit bags, all the fresh ingredients. So you will see all of this when you receive the box. All you need to do is unpack, store the ingredients in your fridge or on your cupboards, and be ready to prepare and cook fabulous meals. So it's a very simple, straightforward receiving process. Once you receive it, what you are supposed to do has also been mentioned here. So this is an extract of the website of Meals at Home, which is fictional obviously, and they're telling you that this is how the company delivers, this is what the process is. And by breaking that down, we understood different topics of E1 that can come up, different topics of P1 that can come up. So important to keep this in mind. It's time for another supplementary reading section. This time a story on data analytics, a study on big data, which we have for you from the real world. So like I said, there are quite a few opportunities relating to big data, data analytics for a company like ours. And then I got to thinking, if I'm having this idea, then for sure some real world company has to be, in the market, innovating in a way to reach the customers, to serve the customers in a better way. And how are they doing it? They're doing it with the help of big data. And here I've taken the example of HelloFresh. Now, HelloFresh is a real company. It's supplementary reading. Remember, something extra that we are giving you. It's not part of the pre-scene, something extra. So, HelloFresh was founded in November 2011. It was one of the earlier companies in the meal kit industry. They were initially funded by Rocket Internet, a German startup studio company. So, they were also funded by someone. They first started delivering meal kits to paying customers in 2012 and then expanded to the Netherlands, US, UK, Australia in the same year. So see, the trajectory is very similar to that of Meals at Home. We also started with the help of business angels, venture capitalists. We were also first local, and then now we'll start to expand, I'm sure. By 2014, the company claimed to be delivering 1 million meals per month. They raised 50 million finance after having raised 10 million in 2012 and 7 million in 2013. So they also needed capital, and we know from our studies that this is a very capital intensive industry. HelloFresh seeks to provide time poor customers with all the ingredients that they require to quickly cook a meal. HelloFresh has millions of customers, and management says that data about their preferences is at the core of the company's operations. So they are using this data, aiding everything from predicting the foods that people want, at which time of the year, and what is their preference. All of this is being done with the help of data at the center. To predict the foods people want, the company harnesses Google Keyword Planner to see what's trending in searches and what's likely to trend. And according to that, they'll create their meal plans, their meal kits, so that there are more sales. November sees searches for turkeys and pumpkin related recipes increase due to Thanksgiving. So HelloFresh has meal kits that can help you with a Thanksgiving dinner or a Thanksgiving lunch. See how they're using data to serve their customers better? It's not something that you just have an idea of. You can back it up with data. You can back it up with good founded historical data. The company wants to provide recipes around seasonal popular food and food that people would generally eat at a restaurant, but now they have it at at their own house, at their own comfort. HelloFresh's data team employs business intelligence and analytic tools, from using specific softwares to help visualize the data and statistics, understanding and helping them understand how to provide customers what they want. So as you can see, HelloFresh, such a big company, has started to reap the benefits of big data, and they're using it in the real world. So there seems like a direct consequence of big data that they're experiencing this growth, that the customers are liking what they're giving. So can Meals at Home also do it? I'm sure they can. So an opportunity that we are giving you. So this was on serving the customers, but data can also be used to transform the supply chain. The traditional supply chain is where you buy the materials, store it in a godown or store it in a factory, store it in a warehouse, and then you bring it to your assembly factory, you assemble it, and then it goes out to the customer from there. That would be the general pattern. But based on data, if you know when what kind of product is going to be required, when what kind of ingredients are going to be required, you can place the orders in advance, have it ready. You can directly buy it, it directly goes into packaging, directly goes out to the customer. It saves you so much time, saves you so much cost, only because you are now using data. So data is being used to predict demand. Data is being used to be in touch with customers, early touch with suppliers to understand the supplier needs as well. So data is being used to transform the supply chain also. So big data has endless opportunities, and HelloFresh is using it. So why am I showcasing this to you? You might be wondering, why is this being showcased? A very straightforward and simple point of all of this is that our company can do the same. We are a big company manufacturing and delivering meal kits. So something like this is surely an opportunity for me. When you are writing your answers, if you have in mind that, okay, big data can be used more and more by meals at home, if you suggest it, when you're writing a supplier related answer, you suggest including data in supplier relationships, in supplier purchasing orders. If you use that and write it, then it really adds value to your answer, and you're only able to do that because of this extra supplementary reading that we are giving you at this stage. There's no other reason. So that is why we say, when we give you something extra, that it's very well planned, it's very well thought out, and it's very well related to our company. So use this opportunity to understand the different opportunities that are available to your company in this market. Next section is knowing about our directors. Who are our directors? The first director is Ben Jonas. He's the sales and marketing director. We know that he has a marketing background. Now, Ben has overall responsibility for the company's sales, distribution, and marketing. He looks at three very important functions. He has been instrumental in creating a distinctive Meals at Home brand and is the inspiration behind all of the company's marketing activities, which has driven our growth. Ben is keen for the business to expand its product base. So Ben wants to keep expanding from the product development aspect. So let's make an analysis. Ben is looking at three very important functions. As the business grows, I don't feel one director can look at sales, can look at distribution, can look at marketing. So delegating and having more board of directors can be seen as an opportunity, can be seen as something that could be done by the business. Secondly, you can use his name for the consultation when writing anything related to sales, distribution, or marketing, specifically marketing, because he has had marketing background, marketing experience. Now, all of this director analysis we do because of a very specific reason. You may feel, why is it important to know directors? First and foremost, directors are the people who run the business. If you don't know them, you can't know the business. Secondly, by knowing what a director does, by knowing what a director is good at, we can use that knowledge, we can use that information and include it when we go to mock writing in some way, somehow, and that adds a whole lot of value. The case study exam is a simulation of a real business question or a real business scenario. So let's say you're writing anything about marketing in the exam, and you end your answer by saying, let's take the opinion of Ben as well, because he has been in the marketing segment for a very long time. He has also developed, he's also responsible for the success of our company. So let's take his input on this. Whenever you're writing something about marketing, put down Ben's name. When we're writing something about sales or distribution, put down Ben's name, because that's his responsibility. He's good at that. If you do that as a conscious, input, it can add good integration marks to your answer. So at every stage, we relate to E1, P1 and F1, but we also give you ideas of how you can relate, how you can integrate as you go deeper into the pre-scene with me. So Ben is our first director. Second director is Ravi Smith, who is the IT director. He has an IT background. So Ravi is overall responsibility for the company's IT systems. He was the driving force behind the development of the website and the subscription app. So now we know we have an online website, plus we have an application, a mobile app. He's interested in the company making use of AI and other emerging technologies. One very important thing to know over here is Ravi is part of the two most important functions of our company, which is website and app management. A positive sign for the business is that he's happy to accept technology. He wants to use technology to harness its full potential. But again, because we have a website, because we have an application, website management, app management, upkeep of the same will be very important. These digital aspects are part of your E1 syllabus. So again, whenever you're writing something about IT, the website, or the application or about the subscription system altogether or anything technology related, you can use Ravi's name. It will add good integration marks to your answer. With that, we have come to the end of the first part of our pre-scene analysis. I thank you for being here. You will see that in the first part of the pre-scene, we showcase to you exactly how detailed our entire pre-scene analysis is going to be. And every single part is covered in the same way. The second part of the pre-scene focuses on the functions of the company. The third part of the pre-scene focuses on the financials. So a whole lot more is to come. We have very wide variety of material. We have very wide variety of mocks that we offer with our personalized support. So I'm hoping that you will find all of this helpful. My email is on the screen. My personal WhatsApp number is on the screen. You can reach us for more information. You can visit our website if you've not already. But signing up early is important as our seats fill up. Plus, it gives you flexibility in using our material. So thank you for being here. That was the first part of the pre-scene. I hope you have found it helpful.